In crypto, speed matters, but trust matters more. At Caleb and Brown, you're never on your own. We connect you with your own personal broker and a 24/7 team, ready to help you buy, sell, or swap over 250 digital assets with one flat, transparent fee. No spreads, no slippage, no hidden costs. Get the best market prices through deep, aggregated liquidity executed by our professional trading desk. Your funds are secured with institutional-grade cold storage for total peace of mind. Track every move in real time with our intuitive client portal. Anywhere, anytime. Whether you're trading as an individual, trust, or business, we give you speed, security, and peace of mind. Thousands of clients in over 100 countries already trust Caleb and Brown. Visit calebandbrown.com and start your personalized crypto journey today.
And welcome to another episode of the Blockchain Brew Show. I'm here running solo tonight because Tyler, I just talked to, he doesn't like when I say his name on the stream. T-Square has some family matters to attend to tonight. So, this is part of the reason. We all love it when both of us are here. But, this is part of the reason why doing this as a duo has been such a really great thing because we can cover each other in that way, So there you go. Also, if you like the music, drop a +1 in the chat for Sarah, for T-Square's wife. She did a banger job at laying down these beats for us. I'm here even though I have a tree nut allergy, and it's been flaring up the last few days, with people liking to bake things with nuts in them around Christmas. But I am here for the Brew Crew, so let's roll. We're going to dive into the news today. We're going to dive into the charts today. And right after Bitcoin, we'll run right into Hyper and Zora DZ. We'll head into ADA too. Thanks for coming on in here, Vision Pulse. And I think that Vision has his own crypto channel as well, correct? So, I know that you've probably been on here more when G-Square's running the show, but everyone go pay a visit to Vision Pulse Fat Boy. And I think his channel name is probably just Vision Pulse. But go over there, give him a like, a follow, a subscribe, hit that notification bell, get those noties, and let's get it. Yeah, but yeah, Vision, ADA, the thing about it, 30 cents during the bear market was such a big accumulation zone that, if it's almost crazy not to buy ADA when it's in the 30 cent range, I'm never saying go all in, guys. I don't advocate for fully entering or fully exiting positions, okay? Like, and when I say fully entering, what I mean is don't go all in right away. If you think that it's the best price that, God could ever give you on a coin, it's likely that at some point during your holding of that coin, it's going to go lower. So always DCA, guys. Always DCA. And don't fully exit positions either, at least not positions in good coins. Like, look, if you get in on a trending meme coin, and you want to fully exit that in profit, that's probably a good idea. YOLO into USDC, he says. Yeah, I hear you. Well, we're going to crack this IPA and we will dive on into the news. We've got another Cousin of Death. It's my favorite beer that Monkish has ever released. It's they release it every Thanksgiving week. And it's a double dry hopped, hazy, double IPA, coming in at 8.4%. Got our ASMR pop. And there's our pour, as opposed to our rich. Right now, you guys are all feeling poor in crypto, but every time I pour myself one of these IPAs, I also remind myself that, the brew crew is going to stick around together in crypto, and we're going to reap the rewards in 2026. We're going to reap the rewards during the liquidity cycle, during the yeah, forgive me today, guys. My I'm having that allergic reaction, but a little wheezy in here. But we're going to reap the fruit and the benefit in 2026 when the liquidity cycle comes in, when Jerome Powell gets to step in out of the Federal Reserve, when more and more altcoin ETF volume continues to come into the market. Guys, this feels to me, and I'm not advocating to go based off of feelings, but this feels to me the same way that the May crash of 2021 did in the middle of the bull run. It feels the same way to me. And so, I don't know, if you take that 3 months, like May, June, July, end of July, we went back up, then, October, November, December, I do think it's going into January, though, but, and look, when you started to go back up in July, it was just clear that you had made a bottom. It's not like you had went back to all-time highs in July after the May crash, right? So that's kind of what I think that's what I'm hoping we're looking at, Kevin Warsh and Kevin Hassett, why they gotta both be Kevins? What's up with that? Are neck and neck in the prediction markets for who takes Powell's spot. So you know what you do? You go on Polymarket or Kalshi and you bet on the dovish one, and you bet on the dovish one, and if they're 50-50, as the odds change, you scalp that position. Or, you bet one guy on Polymarket, you bet the other guy on Kalshi, and then, the more and more things start to swing, if breaking news comes out, then you scalp the losing one out right away, cut your losses, and then, try to ride the other one up to a victory. Anyways, I don't really bet prediction markets myself, but I have been studying it a little bit. Maybe just as something future that we might play with on the channel one day. Please check out the Bank of Japan info. See the Discord for more info. Got you. we will do that right now. Dang it. You guys gotta give me 1 second while I get logged into the Discord on my computer. Okay, I thought I was going to do that much faster than I did. And that was probably detrimental to viewership. I guess not. Guess we're coasting over here. Sorry about that, guys. I just, normally I check that before the stream. I don't know why my Discord on desktop, like, just logs me out several times a day. Anyways. I will throw that up on the screen right now. And here we go. Bank of Japan. Muffhead was telling us earlier today that the Bank of Japan is expected to hike rates by 25 bips on December 19th. People keep pointing out that the last 3 BOJ hikes coincided with brutal Bitcoin drawdowns. March 2024, it led to a 27% drop. July 2024 saw a 30% drop. January 2025 saw a 31% drop. Last week's 7% dump looks like traders trying to front run that history. Okay. And then down here, we've got the Japanese yen moving up here. And I'm assuming, moving up against the dollar. And I'm assuming that's bearish, right? For markets. So, what's old Alex Jones talking about over here? Share this tab instead. Major financial alert. The globalists are desperately trying to crash the U.S. stock market so it can be blamed on Trump and derail his America First recovery. This coming Friday, December 19th, the Japanese central bank is meeting, and most experts believe they will raise interest rates to the highest level in 30 years, effectively ending the yuan carry trade. This is critical must-watch information. Yeah. I am of the opinion that Lux Algo is telling us to short right now. And the confirmation of that came in today. So we will, we'll look at that in the charts. I did pull off a couple good shorts today, so let's see over here. Share this tab instead. We've got our Caleb and Brown weekly roll-up. IHCCP says my beverage of choice is seltzer water. Let's see here. Caleb and Brown weekly news roll-up. Crypto sold off on the FOMC's hawkish stance following its December 10th rate cut. XRP is expanding to Ethereum and Solana through wrapping and bridging mechanisms. The U.S. OCC granted conditional national trust bank charters to 5 digital asset firms. The U.S. SEC approved a pilot allowing select securities to be recorded on blockchains. Do Kwon received a 15-year prison sentence due to the $40 billion Terra collapse. Performance across risk assets was mixed this week as market participants rotated out of technology stocks and into other segments of the market that are more reasonably priced. As a result, the Dow Jones closed at a new all-time high while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ retraced. The mixed performance came as the U.S. FOMC delivered a much-anticipated 25 basis point rate cut at its December 10th meeting. The federal funds rate is now between 3.5 to 3.75%. Despite the rate cut, FOMC remains divided over its monetary policy outlook, with 3 no's from governors concerned about inflation representing a hawkish stance. And so we saw that come in. Synthetics Network is set to launch its perpetual decentralized exchange on Ethereum mainnet on December 17th. The platform will enable trading of perpetual contracts with on-chain settlement and synthetic assets, aiming to expand DeFi derivatives offerings while leveraging Ethereum security and liquidity infrastructure. Bitmine added over 102,000 ETH to its treasury, bringing its holdings over 3.9 million ETH, worth $12.4 billion. Athena declined by 20%. The synthetic dollar protocol built on the Ethereum network presumably saw losses due to recent token unlocks, which released a further 1.8% of supply, and the cancellation of Terminal Finance's DEX exchange launch, which was incubated by Athena Labs. I mean, you never want to see, big projects fail on a chain. I mean, that's never good. XRP declined 9.4% due to broader market weakness, though the network announced some significant developments this week. The Ripple-linked crypto is expanding to Ethereum and Solana, though wrapping and bridging mechanisms, and Ripple stablecoin RLUSD is expanding to layer 2 Ethereum networks. The U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC, granted conditional national trust bank charters to 5 digital asset firms: Circle, Ripple, Paxos, Fidelity Digital Assets, and BitGo. These approvals, subject to risk and compliance conditions, allow the companies to operate under federal banking supervision for custody and trust services tied to stablecoins and crypto products. It's important to note that a national trust bank charter does not make these firms crypto banks, as they are not authorized to offer the full suite of banking services, such as lending and stablecoin issuance. But guys, it is as close as you can get. Like Ripple, in the years to come, is going to be a full-fledged bank, but not in the way that you think. I mean, that's going to be like, public facing, retail facing, maybe, but in the background, Ripple is really, the middleman of the banks. It's in the why do I want to say FDIC? The IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Ripple and XRP are at the center of not just cross-border payments, but cross-border banking liquidity that is behind all of the banks that you know by name. Like, these are the banks of nations that Ripple is moving money between. Like, and it may not be fully there yet. It may just be some Asian nations, some Southeastern Asian nations and stuff like that. But guys, it is coming to the United States, to Europe, to the West. Ripple is going to be that big. So let's see here. Retail, hope to get a chance at it again. We will, Calvin. You have to zoom out and you have to start asking yourself, my problem is that I was buying the fear. I was buying the greed. And by me, I mean, us. Like, my problem is that I was buying the greed, a few months ago. With Bitcoin at $126,000. I was aping into the greed. And now, when we're in the fear, I have to recognize my tendency to want to sell the fear now. And I have to say no. Like, at some point, I have to break the cycle. Even if it's just in small measure. You may not have much money on the sidelines. I get it. It happens. It sucks. You might be all in and you might not be tethered up on the side, to get exposure to these prices. You may not have the cash on hand. I get it. It sucks. But at some point you have to break the cycle and you have to say, even if all I have is $20, I'm going to discipline myself. I'm going to teach myself to buy the fear instead of the greed. And then the next time we're back up, because we will be, I'm going to make myself sell the fear. Even if it's just putting some profits on the sideline. So you don't break that cycle. You don't break that cycle in one fell swoop overnight. You have to do it probably in little ways, but the point is you have to start. You have to start somewhere. That is the most important cycle for you to break in your crypto journey, is to stop buying the greed and stop selling the fear, right? That puts you one step closer to buying the fear and selling the greed, and you might only have $20 to do that with right now. And you know what? Next time the fear and greed index is over 70 or 80, you're telling yourself, look, I'm going to pull $400 off the table. It's not the Lambo money that you dreamed of, but it's discipline, it's hard work, it's commitment, it's longevity. And in order for you to break the cycle, you have to start in small measure. You have to stack up little wins along the way. David, I don't want to overuse Bible comparisons for your investing, because that's not what the text is actually trying to teach us. It's trying to teach us, about victory through the gospel over sin and darkness. But there's applications to be made, right? Like, David had to kill the lion and the bear before he could kill Goliath. Your private victories, if you are a Christian, if you do submit to the Lord Jesus, your private victories over saying no to sin when no one's looking, right? making an appointment with God in prayer and keeping it every day. Corey Ten Boom, she said that she said, make an appointment with God and keep it. And she was like hiding Jews, in Nazi Germany, putting her life on the line, just emulating the gospel and the character of Christ. And, she said, like, such a simple but most important piece of advice: make an appointment with God in prayer every day and keep it, because it's more important than your appointment with anyone else. You make an appointment with an important person, I'm sure you keep it, right? Make an appointment with God and keep it. Anyways, my point here is your private victories, keeping that appointment with God. Your private victories and saying no to sin when nobody's looking. Like, those are the pillars that your public victories are built on. And look, the gospel does not promise us, health and wealth. Like, it promises us eternal life in the age to come in the glory of God. But, so you may not ever have like, profound public victories for the world to look at. But nonetheless, I'll say it this way: your smaller victories are the foundation that your bigger victories are built on. So you have to change the cycle somehow, and you have to do it with those small pillars. Anyways, Calvin says, well said. Thank you, Calvin. Let's see here. Klarna has partnered with Stripe and Privy to develop a consumer crypto wallet aimed at mainstream users. The wallet will integrate with existing payments infrastructure and support onboarding, custody, and transactions, positioning Klarna to bridge traditional payments with blockchain access and expand everyday crypto use for its large retail customer base. Also this week, Stripe launched its Tempo blockchain payments public testnet, allowing users to start building on the network. That, it's funny because Calvin just started us off by, talking about retail, and man, Klarna doing that, integrating with crypto is big for retail, guys. I don't know if you realize how many people use that sort of buy now, pay later mechanism, So, yeah, let's hop on into the charts. Okay, we've got Bitcoin. Let's see on the daily. So on the daily, we just had a confirmed buy or a confirmed sell signal coming in here on Bitcoin. Not only that, we also just marked the break here of a very important trend line. We broke it, and it looks like tomorrow we're going to close below it again. Guys, this is, if you're going to short, this is the time to short. Not later, right now. Look at the new take profit level on this. The take profit is down here at $78,287. Wow. Wow. The confluence bar down here is bright red. Look at that. Bright red. It's showing you that the entire oscillator is agreeing that things are bearish. And on the oscillator, look at the fact that the hyperwave is only at about 30 right now. right? Like the hyperwave is right there, and it's not even oversold yet until it gets below 20. Man. You know, you look at this point back here, the hyperwave got all the way down here to 4. Man, look at that. It's that is not looking good. Like the hyperwave even has this this McDonald's pattern, this double top pattern, right? And you know, that corresponded to about this level on price. You know, we just smashed under that. Yeah, we're gonna make a lower low. We're gonna make a lower low, guys. Our hope right now, our hope is that, man, that we come to this upper take profit level right there, and that as we make a lower low, the hope is that we end up forming a bullish divergence on the daily, where the hyperwave actually makes a higher high. You know, maybe the hyperwave can maintain like anywhere above, you know, like 12 or over, like that. Like that is your hope. Man. It's never been more clear to me than right now that we are going into the 70s. I mean, yeah, we've been speculating all the scenarios, right? But and then isn't this also a bear flag ish? I mean, it's not super clean, but you know, it is the. And not to mention, this trend line that we just fell through at 87 was like the most important trend line. It was the most important trend line on Bitcoin, because when you go to the weekly, yeah, I mean, you go to the weekly and you see yeah, it's not looking good. Like that take profit level is at $97,000, and it looks like it's gonna hit. Wow. Did I say 90? I meant $78,000. I don't know what I said. So what should be your course of action right now? There's probably no reason you should be longing, unless you're gonna. Oh, can we look at Zora and Hyper? I got you right now. Let's see here. Oh, I wasn't even on the screen. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Okay. Let's see here. Share this tab instead. Okay. Anyways, here's like the 2-second countdown, because I know I wasn't on the screen, right? We had strong sell signal come in, break of a very important trend line, take profit pointing down at $78,287, The confluence bar down here is bright red. McDonald's pattern forming on the hyperwave with a breakdown. So, guys, it's bad, bad, bad. Let's see. Hyper. And I do now know that it's hyper, not hyperliquid. So again, this is new. It opened first day with a sell signal. Let me get this out here to the 4-hour chart. There's still not a lot of data on the 4-hour. Check up on the comments here. Okay. 4-hour. You know, you have a sell signal, red trend catcher. Hyperwave is actually starting to get oversold. There's just not a lot of data there, though. Let me go to the 1 hour. Okay, so here's where we can see, you know, ever since the break of this trend line right here, you know, it attempted to come back up, retest, and it faltered. Then you got this strong sell signal on the 1 hour. Second take profit pointing down here at 12 cents, 0.1269. And bam. You know, down here on the confluence bar is still bright red, showing you that everything in the oscillator is agreeing that it's bearish. And the money flow does not show any significant signs of coming up anytime soon. So yeah, none of that is looking good. Let me go to the 6-hour. Okay, again, not a lot of data there. I wouldn't mess around trying to long this until it can show something different. I mean, you know, look at the 4-hour. You're underneath this sell signal. Granted, like, look, that one, 10%. That one right here, 8%. And this one right here is already down 9% or so. But honestly, with Bitcoin looking so bearish, like, alts are probably going to drop harder. I'm just being honest. And, you know, if Bitcoin is pointing down at 78, and look, Bitcoin had that strong sell signal come in today, right? So first take profit level sitting at 78, like, I can't imagine that being very good for hyper at all. And now let me look at Zora. Good night, Calvin. Zora. It's just everything is sell, sell, sell. Now, I will say on Zora, you do have bullish divergence on the 4-hour, right? You got a swing down on price with a swing up ever so slightly on the hyperwave. But, you know, what you should expect, what you should expect there is probably a retest of this downtrending line of resistance and a rejection off of it. You know, we haven't come anywhere near this take profit level yet, and this is a strong sell signal with a red trend catcher. I mean, and look how long the trend catcher has stayed flat right here. Like, that trend catcher has just been flat this whole time, and now it's breaking lower. So what do you think the trend catcher is going to do? It's going to start moving lower now. I mean, you do have like some money flow coming, some green money flow coming in on the 4-hour for this, you know, which pairs with that little bullish divergence pretty nicely. But I don't think that it's going to get you anything more than a retest of this downtrend, right? And if it does, it's going to be an under-over test or an over-under test, right? Like back here. Bam. Tested over it, tested under it, lost it, right? So, you know, you got to watch out for that. Do not be aping into this. If you're buying it on spot to hold, I don't hate it, but just make sure you're DCAing it, right? Let's see here. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer, DZ, but I feel that way about all my stuff too, you know? It's just what I can't shake, what I just can't get away from is this right here on Bitcoin. Like, man, it's this daily on Bitcoin is just what's killing me right now. Like, I'm just gonna draw it again for you because because my screen wasn't up the first time. Like, bam, downtrending line of resistance, uptrending line of support, a very important one on the daily, I might add, and then on the same day, like the close that we just made earlier this afternoon, we have a strong sell signal and a break underneath that uptrending line of support with money flow sharply pointing down and overflow starting to come in to the money flow, which means selling is really amping up. It can mean that, some sellers are late to the downtrend because this next wave of sellers are probably going to be the last wave of sellers that are only in the downtrend for this move right here, while the price ends up making a bullish divergence with a swing low on price and a swing, hopefully, fingers crossed, a swing up on the hyperwave here. And then at that point, we can, bam, retest this downtrend at 94. See if we can get above this cluster right here, and then if we break through, let's say we end up let's say we end up looking like we're going to fail that at first, and then have a small pullback, bam, break above this with confidence at 94, then we're off to some, then at that point, we are off to some very good action, because this trend line up here extends all the way, you know, to $130,000 and beyond. At that point, we would likely have one more retest of the downtrend, and then we blast up toward 120 again. But that's, you know, that's late February or March. According to this, that's February 28th. You know, this is kind of my prediction. It's kind of what I see happening. So, there you go. And XRP not looking good, you know, same thing, same story, different day. Big break of an uptrend. Strong sell signal. Not break of an uptrend, sorry, but a break of an uptrending line of support, potentially. The line failed. Strong sell signal, trend catcher coming down, hyperwave coming down, money flow coming down, confluence bar bright red, not good. Not good. How about ADA? Well, same story. Break the uptrending line of support, strong sell signal, trend catcher pointing down, money flow pointing down, hyperwave pointing down, confluence bars red. Probably see ADA go into the low 30s. Maybe 29. Maybe 28. I do not believe it will stay there long, but midnight. Midnight just got a sell signal on the 4-hour. I'm tell you guys what though, this is the generational buying opportunity of a lifetime here on midnight. You go scoop this thing up at 5 cents. Like, guys, ADA launched around 2 cents, you know? Like, man, and midnight has a much lower token supply than ADA. You know, it has like a $10 billion token supply. You scoop this thing up at 5 cents, I'm telling you, there's no way that you don't see it at $1. I'm going to say Q4 of 2026, between $1 to $2. Like, the opportunity to buy this thing is just incredible. Bless. Bless wants to fake you out here a little bit. Like, got a little teeny tiny green money flow coming in there. You've got these converging trend lines. Bam. And you have the slight break of a downtrending line of resistance. You're getting the break right there. But is the 4-hour candle over yet? Not yet. So, it's to be determined if that holds. The thing about something like Bless is it just, when it likes to move, it likes to move. Like, you could see it try to attack, 16 cents, which should be a great move if you're in that position. And then, ultimately with Bitcoin doing what it's doing, like everything's going to suffer right now. But I think we're approaching the end. We've got to be approaching the end of the downtrend, because for the first time in a while now, let's see, daily. So look, you do have this this green dot right there. You do have, for the first time on the daily, you have overflow on the money flow. So this overflow right here is telling you that you've got like the last big push of sellers before you end up with seller exhaustion. So there you go. Let's check up on the comments. Says, nah, you're good. Like transparency and honesty. Yeah, I get it. Like, dude, I feel the same way about my stuff right now. But like I said earlier in the show, the thing is, we have to recognize the tendency in ourselves to want to sell, to want to give up during the fear, right? Because that is what's happening. That those are the emotions we're feeling. The only difference is if you're seasoned, you recognize it, right? And I feel like Hyper doesn't even have any liquidity. Yeah, it's. I didn't look at tokenomics or anything like that, but just from the chart, it looks new. So I don't imagine it does, and I can't even dump my bag. Yeah, it's the worst cycle ever. Not voting for Trump anymore. It isn't. We say that, but it's only the worst cycle ever because it's not like the others. It was not predictable like the 4-year cycle. That's the reason we say that, is we wanted another round of predictability. That's what we wanted. What we're going to get instead is macro liquidity cycle going into 2026, and we're going to get an extended cycle, super cycle, whatever you want to call it. The fact of the matter is, the fact of the matter is that these rails are the finance rails of the future, and they're being adopted right before your eyes at the government level. Like, the US government was not going to buy Bitcoin at $120,000. They were not. And I hate to break. I feel what you're saying when you're like, hey, when you see Bitcoin turn around and start reversing the trend. According to according to this here, bottom late December, and January begins the reversal. It still doesn't look sexy because you're getting back up to 90s at best. Correct pivot from there a little bit to the downside, and finally don't break until end of February, up to a point where you start getting back over 110 again. So yeah. Hey, what is up? What is up? Is that Flat Smack? I think so. Yeah, so that's kind of what I see. But the U.S. government was not going to buy Bitcoin at $120,000. They had to turn the ship around, send that bad boy back to the harbor so that they could board it. It is what it is, but Michael Saylor is who we never recovered from the Trump family meme coins. They rugged us all, yeah. Michael Saylor buying these levels, he's not going to sell the fear. Institutions aren't going to sell the fear. BlackRock's not going to sell the fear. Grayscale is not going to sell the fear. Bitwise, Bitmine, they're all not going to sell the fear. And ultimately the U.S. government has turned out to be the worst manipulator that there's ever been in the market. But it's fine. We've got to, like I said, it doesn't matter what games they play. It doesn't matter how disappointed I am personally that they have manipulated to the level that they are doing. When going back to the October 10th liquidation crisis, when you have a multi-hundreds of $1 million short position come on the order books just 3 hours before Trump announces 100% tariff on China, like, guys, the U.S. government is emerging as the worst market manipulator in history, and it is flagrant. It is not even attempting to be hidden. But if we're going to turn our fate around in the market, personally, if the Brew Crew is going to turn our fate around in the market, we have to just conclude that it doesn't matter, and we have to conclude that we need to develop the discipline of buying the fear and selling the greed, and that has to start now. It has to start little by little. Even if you don't have cash on the sidelines, $20 right now of purchasing power can be the way that you start learning to buy the fear instead of buying the greed. So Trump is running the crypto market like a real estate market, but instead of using his force, the force of his company, he's using the federal government. Clever, evil, but clever. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, I'm gonna turn in for the night, guys. Thank you for being part of the most hydrated crypto community on YouTube. Thank you, Muffhead. Thank you, Flat Snap. Thank you, DZ. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, I Hate CCP. Cheers.